So I left a review of a show that I was watching, and it wasn't even a full review of the show. I never said it was a review of the show at all. I know I probably tagged that to get up on the algorithm, but for those who knew who I was, they know that as the episodes go on, I'm going to tell people what I think about them. There have been shows that started out really great, like Game of Thrones, and ended up being a shit show. I don't know what happened in season 8, but everybody was disappointed. Everybody unilaterally is like, this show, like, you butchered it. The show was great, and then now it's awful because of what you did with it. And I've watched shows that were bad, and then they become good. Again, another example of shows that were good and then they became bad is The Flash. There's some shows that just fall off. Lost was really good, had a strong start. Then, I don't remember what season it was, but there was a period in time when the writers seemed as though they did not know what they were doing or where they wanted to go next, and at that moment, the show sucked. And then, for me, it ended well. So, it was a period of Lost being good, the show sucking, and then it becoming good again. So, I left this review basically saying, look, the first 2 episodes were amazing. I even left raving reviews of the first episode, like, oh my god, I want to see more of this. And then episode 3 comes along, and I'm just like, does this show suck? Because I am of the camp, and tell me if you agree with me or not. It's okay if you disagree, but I'm of the camp if something is currently not pleasing you, especially as a consumer, whether it be a relationship, a friendship, food, a movie, a show, if something is not grabbing your interest or has lost your interest, you can say this experience sucks. Like, for me, it sucks. And I'm going back and forth for this person. I don't even know why, but there's a specific person in the comments that ironically called me and other people who have this opinion snowflakes, but this person was acting like the biggest snowflake. And I really wanted to just rant about this because I notice it's something, it's not just this person, it's a lot of people in the entertainment sphere that do this, and I have no idea why people have devolved into such immaturity in doing this. And that is, don't shit on a show. You're the reason why these shows don't do well, because before you finish it, you shit on it. Bro. Before I realized this person was going to have seemingly a mental breakdown, I gave an analogy. And the analogy was one of food. Now, I may be alone in this. This person clearly feels another way, and maybe it's just a cultural thing for me because I'm not originally from the States. But can someone else tell me? And that's why I asked that question on Twitter. I gave the analogy of going to a restaurant and you're like, damn, this restaurant's awesome. You get the food is awesome. You're enjoying it. And then you find a fucking piece of hair in your food that's not yours. You don't know if it's pubic hair. You don't know if it's on you don't know what the hell it is. It's just a strand of hair. And you're like, ew, okay, there's hair in my food. How many of you really honest with me, how many of you would just move the hair out because it's just hair and just keep eating? Or how many of you would say, excuse me, I'm so sorry to bother you, waiter, but there's a piece of hair in my food. Is it possible I can get another dish in the nicest way possible so they don't spit in your food? Or would you just not eat that food? Call me crazy. I don't care if it's a piece of hair. I don't really feel comfortable with pulling hair out of my fucking throat. I've had that experience before when I've eaten something that I paid for. And of course, the person didn't put it in there on purpose. They probably put their back into making that food, and I'm paying for this food, and then I'm like, what is in my throat? Just thinking about it makes me gag. And then I'm pulling, like, out of the horror movies, like a scene from out of the horror movies, pulling a strand of hair with both hands that's like 26 inches long out of my fucking throat. Is that pleasurable to anybody else here? Because apparently to that person, it was completely normal, and it's just hair. I get it, bro, but I don't know whose hair it is. I don't know their hygiene. I don't know what kind of lice or parasites they're carrying on their scalp. And if their hair ended up in my food, chances are whatever's on their scalp, like psoriasis or lice larva or eggs, is in my food too. So excuse me for feeling as though that's disgusting. My point was, I used an analogy to say, if you're enjoying something and then you get to a part of the experience that's not enjoyable, a lot of the time, if it's something you're consuming, entertainment is a method of us consuming stuff. We're not doing it with eating it, but we are consuming it. We're taking it in through our freaking eye holes. It is understandable if when you get to that point of the experience, you're like, I lost my appetite. I'm sorry, call me crazy. I just don't want to eat this specific plate of food anymore. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to finish enjoying. If I finished the plate, it would be good. It's just, I just don't feel like finishing it. And that's how I am. The moment I see someone's hair in my fucking food, it's not my hair, I'm like, yeah, no. Imagine the audacity that someone would have to have, especially the chef, for him to come and say to you, well, you haven't finished the whole meal. How can you say the experience was bad or the food was bad or whatever? You haven't finished the whole meal. Just take the hair out and keep eating. Keep eating, and then you'll start to feel better. The food will start to taste good again. Bitch! I'm sorry. That to me is the biggest crock of shit I have ever heard. And I don't know where we got in society where the people who are asking us to pay for their stuff get upset with us when we speak negatively about something that has ruined our experience or where we are right now. When I was watching Lost, as I use an example, and I didn't have to wait like everybody else, but as I said, when it started off, I was so happy. Me and my mom were enjoying it. And then we got to a point where it was just ridiculous. And we're like, this show sucks. It fucking sucks. And then I came back to it because everybody else had finished it. And they're like, listen, we all didn't like it, but we finished it and it ended so strong. So I went back and I finished it and they were right. But during that period of time when everybody was watching Lost and it got to that particular season where nothing was happening or the characters just kept going around in circles, everybody was saying the show sucked. Everybody. Or at least their experience at that time sucked. So when I come out and I say, you know what? Yeah, I'm halfway through this episode, 50 minutes of this episode, we'll give or take, let's say 45, because the credits and stuff. And I say, episode 1 was great, episode 2 is great. Nobody's saying shit. The minute I'm like, you know what? I'm not enjoying the show right now. It sucks because of this. This is a problem that they have. I even use analogy. Like, I get it. Episode 3 of that particular show was very dialogue heavy, and I understand the need for dialogue to be in shows, but you have to make the characters interesting. I went 15 minutes on my little rant, or I think it was like 14 minutes, because I had an art thing at the end. And I was like, look, if people lose their audience, the general audience, because this is a franchise that most people aren't going to know about, and you make it boring, you take one episode to develop or whatever, but you do it in a boring way, don't get mad if people fall off. Does it mean the show sucks overall? No. But does it mean it sucks right now where I am? Yes. I don't know what is wrong with people, why they get so bent out of shape, and the person who had an issue is not even somebody who worked on the show. It's some weird-ass person who got so upset because I'm talking bad about it. Why are you personally attacked? Why do you feel personally attacked if someone doesn't like something? And I'm generally wondering what is happening. Like, it's not just that person, but even with the Godzilla situation. I love Godzilla. I love the Monsters You Can't Tell from my other channel. I absolutely love it. But there are instances in shows or movies that I like where I'm not just a blind follower. I'm not just gonna be like, oh my god, there's nothing this person or this show or movie or franchise can ever do wrong. I can say, look, I love this. Despite me loving it, here are some issues. Doesn't mean that the creators have to change it, but as somebody who's a consumer and who's watching it, I have a right to say what I like about it and what I don't like about it. Here come the Godzilla fans. Other Godzilla fans, by the way, telling me I'm not a real fan because I hate Godzilla. I swear to God, this is one of the reasons why I hate people. Why I stay away from people, because the logic, the lack of it thereof, just astounds me. 99% of the time, I am saying wonderful things about Godzilla, covering him, hyping him up. But dare I criticize one thing and all of a sudden, I'm not a real fan. The fuck is wrong with you people? I swear to fucking God. I'm sorry I'm so passionate and mad right now, but I just don't like stupidity. I really don't like stupidity. It's like me as a person, right? Some of you can watch me and say, well, you know, I love you, but I don't like your design for your character, or I don't like your take on this. Am I gonna come down your throat and be, okay, that sounds bad. That word usage, can't even say that anymore. Am I gonna go down your throat and be like, you're the reason you're not a real fan then? If you don't like what I have to say in this particular video out of all the others you agreed with, if you don't like this particular, you're not a real fan of me. What in the hell? What in the narcissism? What in the delusion? Come on now, guys. People, we have to do better. There are so many people who were chased away from franchises or communities because they criticize something like Jurassic Park or Godzilla or a sci-fi show, and as reviewers of people that review things, we have eyes, we all have different personalities. You're gonna like different things, you're going to hate different things. Somebody may like the intro of something, you may like the outro of it, and that's totally okay. We're not a monolith. One of the things that makes community so awesome is the different perspectives and likes. One of the things that I do often is, even with movies that I love love. I love to go to other channels and hear the bad reviews. Specifically the bad reviews, because first of all, it's entertaining. And second of all, I want to see other people's perspective. There are movies that I have watched, and I watch other YouTubers shitting on those movies, and I will write comments or agree with them saying, this is hilarious because you're right, I do see where you're coming from. I still personally love the movie, but I understand where you're coming from. And even if you don't understand where that person is coming from, it is their right to not like something. It is not the consumer's responsibility to hype up something to make it work if they don't like it. If the show is good and most people resonate with it, most people are going to resonate with it, it's going to be successful. But you forcing people to like something and then villainizing them when they don't and claiming that they're destroying good shows, bitch, if the show is good, most people would like it. And if most people like it, why are you worried about the few that don't? What is it with people who think differently or have altering opinions? And then they have the nerve to sit there and be like, well, I guess you're just doing this for views, which I understand. And if you understand that, why would you even bring that up? Idiots. I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, we do shit for views. But why even bring up that argument? You're here watching me giving me the view. Fucking duh. But excuse me, if I really wanted to get views, I'd be praising it. I'd be shilling. Because that's what people on Rotten Tomatoes and those other sites that he accused me of being like do. They want to get more work. They want to get more advertisements. Notice channels like Emergency Awesome don't say a word about anything bad whatsoever because he's working with those companies. I can't even get mad at him. Get your bag, boo. That's on you. It's working for you, clearly. Most channels that are really big and do these reviews, they're working with these companies. The companies sponsor them, give them early access to certain things, and that's great. All you have to do is either talk about the good things about it, don't say anything bad about it, and you're good as golden. It's no different than people who are paid to leave good reviews on Amazon for a product that is shit so they can get the product for free, even though the product is shit. I am so sorry, but I am not ever going to be one of those people. And I really hope that that doesn't ever happen. But as long as I have my own mind about me, I'm not going to sit here and be dishonest and say I like something or it's great when it's not. I'm also not the kind of person who is going to blindly follow something and ignore all of the issues with it because I like it. I don't see how that's conducive in being a fully functional person or human being. I like myself, but I don't like that I'm sensitive. I don't like that I start one thing and go to jump to the next thing. I don't like that I don't like people as much as I don't like people, but I actually love people and care about them, so I put myself in that situation to have people stalk me and do weird shit because I don't know how to say no. You can like something and still criticize it. A lot of people who watch me like my stuff, but there are a lot of stuff that they don't like. A lot of people straight out hate me, but they still watch me for some reason, which I don't understand why they put themselves under that torture, which means that they must hate themselves. But the point being, you can love something and still criticize it. I do that with my dogs. I love them to pieces. I would give my life for my animals. But sometimes they do some annoying shit and I have to discipline them for it. There are franchises that I like Jurassic Park and Godzilla, as I said in the beginning. But holy shit, some of the stuff they do is very cringe. Criticizing something that you like does not mean that you hate it. You can like a girl and go to sleep with her, but if her pussy stank and you criticize her, I mean, she'd be embarrassed, but she should want to know that if she's stinking. Like, I don't even know why that would happen, but if she doesn't clean herself and you really like her and she's open to criticism, which she should be, and you tell her that, she should be embarrassed enough to be like, you know what, I'm so sorry, let me go clean up. You should be cleaning up, period, before you even do anything. Whatever. The point of the matter is, you can still like her and criticize her, or don't like this particular thing about her. You can like a guy, and he's kissing you, and it feels like you have a wet mop on your face, and you'd be like, God damn, I like this guy, I like everything about him, but he's a bad kisser. Man, I'm in love with this person, but he's bad with money. Man, this is my best friend, but Jesus, her arms stink. Man, I love you, my boyfriend, but dude, that haircut looks bad on you. Those clothes look bad on you. You don't have to change them, but usually what happens if people want to be around people, they take their advice. They'll say, okay, I can see where you're coming from. I want to wear this still. Or, okay, what do you suggest that I do better? That's what a grown adult does. But then you have these other grown adults that are leaving comments on YouTube getting mad at people for having their opinion on something. The fuck? I don't even understand where that came from. To me, it is so alien of a behavior that I literally don't know what to say. This is not even a conversation conversation people should be having. It makes me wonder, like, if these people are trolling. But then I've seen Twitter, and the things that people get upset over, and I realize, wow, this is the real world now. I guess people didn't have parents, or their parents didn't love them enough to make sure that they're socially sound and psychologically stable. Because if your whole life upends because somebody didn't like something or is not having a great experience at this moment in time with something that you like and you feel is great, then you need fucking professional help. And I don't mean that as an insult. I'm being truthful. You need help. And then you have these same people that will go out there and call other people snowflakes. I do not get it. So I'm gonna keep being honest about what I like and what I don't like. If at that moment I feel like a show fucking sucks, it fucking sucks. If later on in a few seasons it picks up and the characters are redeemed and it does better, I can be like, all right, this show's freaking awesome. But at this moment in time, it sucks for me. Shoot me. Oh, I'm sorry. I like went hard. I know some people are probably like, whoa, what is happening right now? But it really is bothering, or bothersome, that's the right adjective to use, when people get this entitled opinion in their head that how they feel is how everybody else should feel. And if you don't feel the way I do, or think the way I do, or like what I like, or vote how I vote, somehow you are a problem. We need to stop doing that, because people are never going to be harmonious or get together. We're never going to evolve further as a species if we continue doing that shit.